This one works. Hey, more sentence. Maybe. Maybe not though. No promises. You never know what sentence. If it'll happen or not. Pale Fire. Hello. How are you? Thanks for the $5, man. Okay, Nubex. He's pink. He's 1900. He's Cybran. Is it Wounded Elk? Probably. It's not online. So Noob 4 is Bully. Noob 5 is Eco Noob. Whoa. KLS. Keep up the good work, Jagged Scandi fans. I don't know what that currency is, but 200 something NOK. That's around €18.65. So thanks a lot, Kiel. I will keep up the good work. Hopefully. Thanks for the donation. What's up, Alex? What is that that you tried to post? Okay. Oh, this looks like a nice raid. Kill the raider. 80 mass. Norwegian Krone. Yeah, that would make a lot of sense. I was kind of thinking Krone. I don't know. Better not to guess. You guys would always know. Somebody in the chat can figure out the currency. Yeah, thanks for the generous donation. Cybran T1 spammer. It's kind of slow. It's see here where he makes a factory with the commander. It really slows you down heading to the top expansion, so you gotta be careful with that one. Usually I prefer to use engineers, get more engineers here. Send, like 2 from the base, maybe 3. See all these guys, they could actually have just walked up here, built a factory here maybe on the way if you have mass, and then reclaim over here where there's rocks instead of reclaiming these trees and stuff. But in the end, ACUs are kind of similar. There are a couple rocks here. So there's one here and there's one here. You gotta get both of them. No, not both of them. You gotta get one of them. So, because you don't want to walk back and forth. But make sure you grab one of them. Content Pelican. That would have been a new one for me. So many engineers are reclaiming random trees. It's not very useful, to be honest. Ooh, an air factory here. Not the worst idea. I would like a radar, to be honest. Radar would be nice as well, but don't mind putting an air factory there. Makes a bit of sense. Oh, they both did it. Okay, you don't normally see that. It's kind of interesting that they both do it. One T1 mechs on the way. Very... Okay. Very cautious ecoing. You can see a lot of eco on this map, but... Yeah, I mean, Wounded Elk is doing pretty good. He's got a T2 max and a half. Over halfway to T2 land, and that seems to be better than what Paralon has right now. No T2 land on the way, so looking good for Wounded Elk. If only he had this expansion more quickly, then he'd be in a really good position. Oh, he actually took this. Why has Paralon not fought here? Like, 1 PD, you can fight that easily. An ACU beats a PD, right? Maybe he just had... Maybe these units only just arrived. It's a bit... Yeah, it's looking very bad for Paralon, actually. Parafo? Oh, Paralon's going T2. But where? Somewhere else? Somewhere interesting? I don't see the factory upgrading. There goes one PD. Take the next one. I don't think an ACU beats PD. One ACU definitely beats one PD. It does. It'll cost you a couple thousand HP, but you definitely win. You might lose like... you might lose 2,000. You might lose a bit less than 2,000. But yeah, this looks... well, Paralon's getting in some raids. Like, these raids should not happen. How does this guy have 100 mass killed? 148 mass killed? And now another one coming in. It's actually not enough units. Hoplites. What's the eco balance like? And what's the air like? Paralon trying to use air now. Got 150 mass killed. A lot of dead engineers that we're reclaiming here. And quite a few mantis abroad in the around the expansions, and now bombers arriving everywhere. So here's where it gets difficult. This is why being ahead on eco sometimes this mech is taking a very long time. I think he's been stalling heavily. But yeah, this is where having less stuff can become really difficult to deal with, because Paralon's just got bombers everywhere. He's got air control. He's got mantis everywhere doing raiding here. There's not enough units to clean this up here. And now just pouring through the bottom. And he's gonna finally take this expansion back. Mostly with the bombers, honestly. The bombers and the ACU. Not many units around. They've been sent forward. This is gonna be a bad trade, unfortunately. What is the commander doing is the real question. He's just chilling. He's afraid actually to leave, I think. I think that's what's happening, and his vision is now terrible, so things looking pretty bad for Wounded Elk. Things have gone very poorly in the last 2 minutes. Even just 1 minute. Well, not only did he have less units, but he had... well, I think he didn't use his units as well as he could have, maybe. But also, he didn't have as much air at all. He fell behind in air. I think he probably mass stalled. If you mass stall, you are going to lose air. That's pretty much how it goes. If your opponent doesn't... Because, you know, usually... Well, if you imagine the scenario where you both have equal air production, which is kind of the situation they were in, because Wounded Elk had 2 factories, his opponent had 2 factories. If one of you stalls mass, then you're going to lose air. That's just how it's going to be, assuming the other person doesn't also stall something, mass or energy. So I'm guessing he stalled quite a lot to make some of these mexes. They look to finish very slowly. Plus T2 land, a lot of factories, T2 Pigeon then, probably a lot of stalling. Leading to an air loss, and having a few less units as well. And now Paralon looks like he's taking control of the game. Just gonna maintain the pressure. There's still a lot of spam that there is no way for Wounded Elk to deal with at this point. Bombers have done amazing work. He's gonna raid this expansion now. What's up, True? Needs to make use of these units. You see where they're all pooling on the top side? If you leave them there too long, then there might be enough PDs or T2 units to actually stop them, but we'll see. T2 air now coming after T2 land. Maybe T2 air should have been the first option. That's gonna be the gun, most likely. What's up, Pranav? How are you? Okay, now Wounded Elk is kind of back on his feet a little bit, and he's still not many T2 units for the length of time he's been at the T2 stage. to be honest. And he's losing his P-Gen. Down to 500 HP. It's time to build a shield right now. It is time, and also it's long since time to make TMD. This could be crucial, this fight here. And there's only T1 units. He's got to be careful. Yeah, he's retreating. You see, you have to retreat here. Wounded trying to use his own bombers now. Taking ideas from his opponent. Gets caught against the cliff. That gives you... You get terrible trades once you start getting caught like that. That bomb did so much damage. You see that? Did so much damage. Time to clean this up. This corner dying again is really brutal. I imagine Paralon is not too far behind in T2 units. He's got 10. Wounded has... he's got 16. And a couple of flak as well, so... And the T2 P-Gen is dead. And yet, he doesn't seem to even need it. Commander's on the move, but has no upgrades. It's quite strange that he hasn't made an ACU upgrade, to be honest. Bombers coming in. Bombers do great against hoplites. T1 bombers are probably the best tool to use against hoplites. Yeah, Paralon doesn't need this fight. He does need some anti-air. And Paralon walks forward with stealth and gun on the commander to continue the pressure. And he has T3 land. That's what I was actually expecting. I thought he might even skip T2 land altogether. But he didn't. And to be honest, he might have been better off just skipping T2 land altogether if he had enough engineers in the base to assist that heavily. Pushing with the ACU at the same time is quite risky. What's up, Evan? It will be interesting to see people play on this map with the bomber and T1 land changes. It will. It will. Bit of a pause there. No TMD for... Well, one TMD for Paralon. Big mass stall. Wants to... You should... Oh, this is actually... There's so much T1 stuff here. And especially so many engineers. It's kind of overbuilding T1 engies. Oh, secret TML. Well, there's some things in FAF beta at the moment. He is firing TMLs into a base with one TMD, just one TMD, but also loyalists. Is there a way to see all the maps available for ladder? There are definitely on the forums. And all the map pools for the raiding brackets are on the forums. Loyalists getting in. Gonna raid the whole expansion. Again, this expansion is always very vulnerable. So it's good to... Well, for one, you can wall from here to here. It's a big wall, but still worth it. Or just make a T1 PD maybe. But walls can help. Walls can definitely help. Maybe a wall here. Loyalists running around everywhere. Bomber takes one out. The ACU being so far forward is kind of ridiculous. T1 tanks now have HP of GC. Yes, exactly. T1 isn't strong enough, so now has 99,999 HP on a Mantis. Wait, so you only play certain maps if you're a certain rating level? Yes, I think... if you have... Basically, more maps are added into the pool as you gain rating. So there are brackets, and the highest bracket is like 1800 plus, and I think you see all the maps. It makes so you get more larger maps and things. At a lower level, you get less maps and you don't get massive maps. You don't get 20 by 20 maps, I think, until a certain rating. Well, Wounded was in a good position, but see, this is the thing. It's tricky to play that way. He's playing against a really aggressive player. He's trying to play slightly ahead in eco. And if you can't deal with the threats efficiently enough, then you are just going to get overwhelmed, and that extra 1 T2 mex or half T2 mex is not gonna... It's not gonna pay off for you. That's why a lot of times it's easier to just do what Paralon was doing, which is, you know, be aggressive, win air, have a few more units, and don't try and play the eco game. But it kind of depends on your playstyle. Some people will be better at one than the other.